I got bigger fish to fry.
I'm Groot.
Now, whatever you do, don't push this button.
I am Groot.
Uh-huh.
I am Groot.
That's right.
I am Groot.
No! No, that's the button that will kill everyone!
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Vontae the First, the day portion of Mugen Eclipse.
And it's me, Mr. Twitchy, the night portion of Mugen Eclipse, here with lucky number 7, episode 7 of season 1 of Hell's Paradise.
Yes, sir. Last episode was an episode centered for Sagiri. She, Genji in the prior episode was talking a lot of shit about her. Like, oh, you're a woman. You can't be the head of the Yamada clan, this, that, and the third. You have to, have children and just be away from the battlefield and whatnot. She told him, I want to live my life the way I want to. And then right after that, his ribs were gone. Kuroda came up, got him, and that's where he picked up in the last episode in the beginning. He pushed Sagiri out of the way. He got messed up, flew into a tree. And Rokuroda, he's just, hey, he's a monster. He's just out there, he hungry. The man's hungry, and we try to fight against him. He's strong as hell. Gabimaru struggles. Sagiri tries to help him. And then she has, this whole thing that she's been, having trouble with since the beginning of the series with, killing or fighting. She's actually a really good executioner, but on the battlefield, this is a different game. And she has to adapt to that, which she does. Rokuroda, he's, like I said, he was just a monster. So they have to plan on trying to get him to kneel or bend forward so that she can slice right off on his neck joints. And she ends up doing it. We've also seen a little glimpse of Rokuroda's backstory. He's just been eating people since he was a little boy or a little big boy. But it was sad. I'm like, damn, man. But she ends up doing the job. She kills him. Genji realizes, like, oh, well, she could actually balance being a woman and being a executioner. Oh, wow. Surprise, surprise. So that was cool for her moment as well. And then we see at the end of the episode, we went back to Toma and Chobe. They're just killing some monsters and whatnot. And this fool, Chobe, drinking the blood, he just really adapting to this place really well, I guess. But at the end, we seen something really interesting. See these two chicks. One was like eating a peach, and then they started kissing and sharing the peach and whatnot back and forth. And then they turned to the brothers and looked at them. And I'm like, oh shit, that scared me and Twitchy when we seen it. I was like, oh shit, like you said, it looked like bird's eyes or something.
Yeah, it zoomed in like binoculars. I was so taken aback. I was just like, okay, well, we have some sexy time here. Oh, no, we don't. They're about to murder me.
That shit scared me a lot. But I'm ready to hop into this. I want to see what's going on with them.
Yeah, let's waste no more time, guys. I'm sure we're all excited in more than one way to see what's happening with these two women. So with that being said, let's start episode 7 of Hell's Paradise right about now. Hell's Paradise. They are starstruck.
Oh, I like her VA. I really like both of their voices. Oh.
Nope.
Oh.
What are you doing?
Huh?
You're a man?
Oh, never mind.
Oh, she's from the LP.
Yep. And that's one thing that I will say about this series that I'm the most excited for, is just to see how different this place is. Because, like, even though everything seems very bizarre, it's very normal, obviously, for people who live here. And I'm also just waiting to see when we do meet more of these people. I want to see how likable they are as well as characters, because then that's gonna, I think I said this before, but it'll make it interesting to see like the cast that we already have met for the first 6 episodes, and then the rest of these people. Whoa.
Groot!
Okay, seems like they're gonna
What's
be
a
friendly.
bonsai creature? I got bigger fish to fry.
I'm Groot.
The creaking sound of... What are you doing? Tip your hand. What is she doing?
I'm about to say we're gonna see her ninjutsu because I remember before when she had killed wasn't it Makoto?
Mm-hmm.
She like took a sword from her chest. I mean, y'all really have to think about it. This place is full of different type of people. I'm not saying you have to expect exactly what they can do, but like expect the unexpected.
Sagiri, do not underestimate her.
For real. Oh shit.
What in the Thanos?
Yeah. Yeah, but
It went
that's another
through
thing, too.
him?
I want to see like what their power system, like if it differs from like ninjutsu and some of these other techniques that we've seen so far.
I feel like he's about to go to sleep. Try to tie her up. What in the whip?
Look at that, Sagiri, the balance, the nurturing balance with being on the battlefield as well.
I like that voice.
Yeah, same.
I know this VA as well.
Really?
Who is he? Oh!
Wow.
I'm really interested in like the hierarchy on this island. I mean, we've seen some stuff in the OP, and obviously we've seen a few inhabitants already, but is it kind of similar to the outside world, or is it completely different? I feel like this guy used to be human.
I was just about to say that, and it's interesting though, because it's like, how did he maintain his consciousness?
But also it makes me think that everyone that was killed, technically they could come back as like plant creatures, maybe? That VA.
For real.
Hello, Sagiri.
For real.
Yeah, you forgot everything you were just saying. I don't know what to make of this episode so far.
Right. Nah, that VA does sound familiar.
Oh, it's Brooke!
Like the
It's
way he
Brooke!
speaks.
Yo ho ho, yo ho ho, yo ho ho, yo ho ho.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then he went to ask him where the One Piece is. He just asked him that. Wow.
This is an island.
Where the One Piece is located is like Hell's Paradise in terms of like the island.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool.
Bizarre.
Kotaku.
Kotaku.
Tan. I like the exposition. Okay, so it's like Attack on Titan.
Yeah. You know, that's something that I really like about Gabimaru's character, because if you notice, basically every episode he always says that, I gotta make it back to my wife, I gotta get the elixir.
Uh-oh. Oh!
Wow. Yeah.
They are plant creatures.
That's interesting though. Alright.
I got that Conqueror's hockey.
For real.
Why?
Wow.
Well.
Are they for real dead?
No, I don't think so. That's what you say, but
Oh my. Wow.
Punish the guilty.
Wow.
Oh,
Huh. This is really interesting.
that reminds me of that line from Vinland Saga. The priest?
Oh yeah. When like death is like peace is real true love or whatever.
Death completes a man.
Wow.
Okay, so I did speculate that. I don't know if it was on
Yeah.
camera or not, but the source of eternal life is life itself.
Huh.
One of its blessings?
And so you can't kill them, or at least the way that we've been trying to. But since Gabimaru, he's a fire type, burn.
Pseudo-Wudo's got a type
Deforestation.
disadvantage.
This is something that we definitely needed, though.
I was gonna say, the previous 6 episodes, they felt very much like a prologue, but we're finally getting into the plot in this one.
Yep. Hoko and May.
May?
Okay. Centuries.
Wait, she is 1,000 years old? Maybe she's the conglomeration of a whole bunch of lives that just sprouted from a flower. Oh man, he is battered. She does have a scar. Oh, that's a pretty bad one.
That's crazy, isn't it? She spent centuries with probably no parent around for her, and then literally we just meet them, and within a day or so, or two, or something like that. And even though this is a very simple scene right here, it just goes back to like Sagiri's role, the fact that she could balance being a woman and an executioner.
I also like the dynamic with this little girl, as opposed to, like, they're kind of like the parents for her, since the bonsai man, he doesn't really, he can't relate to her physically, I guess. Yeah, I don't think she can speak.
Man, this like episode is doing a lot in a very subtle way.
It's a good cool down as well in terms of all the craziness that we've seen thus far, just to have a bathing episode.
And it's cool that we're seeing more of these flashbacks between those two. I did notice that.
Aw, that's what she wants to hear. She's never heard that before. Aw.
Do you think he's ever going to actually get to reunite with her?
At the end, I would think so, because I do think most of this story is going to happen on the island. I wonder if he's going to try to adopt this pink-haired girl as his daughter.
That'd be pretty cool. What if the little girl can't speak and her voice is deep?
Oh my god.
Arigato. Aw, damn.
That episode felt stupid quick.
I've said it a few times during this episode, but I really like that, because I keep going back and forth with this whole, or not back and forth, but back to this, like, the woman's role in society in this series. And, you know, you got Sagiri, you have his wife, both of them are, like, very nurturing, and simply just the nurturing type of role for, like, women in general in real life. I like that we see that a lot in this series, because in other series, I don't think we see that as well. You know, like a lot of other fighting shonen, you just see like maybe a strong woman here or there, and then like, you know, that's usually the most that we get when we think about like the best female characters. But in this series, they actually, you know, utilize real life, you know, nurturing elements from women and also make them strong. So I do appreciate that a lot.
Well, in addition to that, I also like the aspect of the main character being married from the start. I don't think I've seen that in another shonen, or I don't know, maybe this is seinen light. I don't know about the exact terminology that would best describe this show. I want to say it's technically shonen, but at the end of nearly all shonens, the MC ends up with the main love interest. But you don't get that until the very end, and then afterwards it's just like, okay, and they lived happily ever after.
Yeah. And realistically, it's not even like, because in those series, that's why people do a lot of shipping and stuff like that, because it's like, okay, well, you know, a lot of times the female lead, or not the female lead, but the love interest, usually they're like, they might be okay, but ultimately it's like the main character that gets a lot of the shine. And then when it comes to those characters, for female characters, it's kind of like, oh, let's just see who they end up with at the end of the series. But like you said, in this series, we start out, the main character has a wife, and he's literally fighting to get back to his wife. So, and she's taught him a lot of stuff too. So they respect, the author respects women a lot in the way that he's writing, and I respect that and appreciate that a lot as well. That's interesting though, because now we're learning more and more. Now we know that there's like 3 different regions, and then we have the elixir that's called Tan. We learned that the elixir of life is created through the deaths of many, many people, basically birthing this eternal life, like you had mentioned before, which is crazy. What's your thoughts on that?
So that, I don't know, like, not too often am I able to guess, like, I wouldn't call this like the main concept, but one of the primary concepts of the structure of how this world works. It's not too often that I'm able to actually guess what it is, but it's more of an Occam's razor, like, yeah, it makes sense. Like, eternal life can only be granted by essentially grinding down a meat pile of humans, as dark as that sounds, into a juicy fruit. And it's like, oh man, I wonder what, there's got to be a downside to it, because let's say, for example, there's something with My Hero Academia in terms of the consciousnesses of the quirks themselves influencing the user. So I wonder if these plant gods, if they feel the emotions, if they feel the thoughts of everyone that they've ingested via the elixir of life. And I wonder, like, what's the communication like? Is there any sort of like telepathy between the gods? Because if they've drank from the same elixir of life, do they have similar mindsets? Is it a hive mentality? Do you kind of lose your own self after you drink that elixir of life? And then we haven't even gotten to the point of what's going on with the village chief elder and Gabimaru specifically, because it seems like they're immortal, but are they? I don't know. Maybe it's just the way that it's presented to me. I'm a little bit confused as to, let me phrase it a different way. So in X-Files, one of my favorite live action shows of all time, they go back and forth between it being a government cover-up and it being aliens. And they do like an alternating sequence for every season. I am somewhat under the impression that Hell's Paradise is kind of like, oh, well, he's immortal. Well, maybe he's not. Well, maybe he's immortal. Maybe he's not.
It's kind of maybe they've got the diet immortality.
He got the Walmart version of the elixir of life.
For real. And it also kind of reminds me, like you just said, where potentially if the other gods can communicate, or they can, like, you know, some kind of telepathy with each other because they, you know, drank from the elixir and whatnot. So I want, it kind of reminds me of a little bit of Avatar, The Last Airbender, of the swamp area, because I remember they said everything was connected there, and then you have the spirit world that's kind of, you know, and all that kind of stuff. So that's really interesting. And I do wonder, like you just said, when you had linked it to My Hero, I do wonder if they do feel, you know, like the consciousness or the thoughts of these people, the energy, something. I don't know, because it's really interesting. I guess I would think so. But then again, the people die, so I don't know how much, but they still give birth to the elixir altogether, so maybe they do. And I think that would be a good thing to get into as well. And it would be cool to see if these guys have like different mentalities about pretty much anything, or different principles too, because maybe we can learn something from one of them. Because obviously, like the ones that just fought against Chobe and Toma, I don't think they would be willing to give out any kind of information whatsoever. So it'll be cool if we can get some further information from maybe like one of the older gods or something, or like, you know, that wouldn't mind to tell us. That'd be cool to find out. This is a much needed episode though, so That's all I'll say.
I really like the world building in this, and then I'm going to end it on this point, guys. One of the theories about how life started is a comet hit Earth that was already carrying life. So I could see if the genesis of this island and the elixir of life came from a comet that contained seeds of this, let's just call it a mega flower, that is able to then kind of exist via proxies of these gods on the island by continuously placing its roots into the ground and moving outward.
So you think it might potentially it could spread even more than what we have seen, maybe?
Well, I don't know how far away the mainland is from this particular island, and I know that there are some trees and roots in Maiden Abyss that go well underneath the earth and even the ocean, and where it's spreading out. So I could see something similar being at the very center of this island that was maybe, say, from a cosmic seed that started this whole immortality process.
It's a good theory. I'll try to come up with my own too. But yeah, you guys know the drill, man. You come here every week. We're always gonna have Hell's Paradise. We've been doing Demon Slayer, Vinland as well. And yeah, so hope you guys have a good one. Please stay safe, stay healthy, stay clean. See you guys on our next video, and
Peace.
peace.